Okay, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. Well, happy holidays still. Here we are on Thursday. That was added almost as an afterthought, but everybody knows that there is work tomorrow on Friday, even though there are those who are saying that. I saw a joke. Federal government, don't be shy now. Just add Friday. You can trust Nigeria, the Nigerian sense of humor. Well, our guest this morning is Otumba Shunmi. Is a PDP stakeholder, and indeed, beyond that, a national chairman hopeful. He also is a past, PDP governorship aspirant in Ogun State. Yes. So, a fine morning to you, Otumba Shunmi.
Yori, my man, how are you? How are you, Lagos? How's Nigeria? Happy Ifitri. I wish you well. I look forward to a very interesting engagement with you, Yori.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Otumba. One can trust that will be the nature of the situation when we have you on, because we don't have PDP on as often as we would like, PDP members, that is, for whatever reason.
You guys don't like inviting us. You don't like inviting us.
No, we do. Like I tell you that for sure.
Empire.
Shegun, I tell you for sure, we do. Not all of them are as enthusiastic as you to take us up on our offer. But we've always enjoyed it when
I'm on speed dial. Just anytime you need to talk seriously, just speed dial me. I'm flying to the studio. I love the way you talk, man.
Okay, let's see if that will continue, because there are some contentious issues, but no, I wouldn't really put it as contentious. Shall I just say interesting matters that we can talk about?
I'm a no-holds-barred type of person. I like that.
All right, that's nice. The PDP NEC meeting is coming up. It's just around the corner. And there are those who are seeing it as, quite frankly, an exercise. I advisedly didn't use the word battle, an exercise for the soul of the party. Being as PDP, I don't know that we've ever had this in our political history before. This PDP is divided, shall we say, along the lines of those that see it from the Nyesom Wigwe point of view, and those that see it from the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's point of view. And so it is being seen as a situation that is almost like a battle for the soul of the party. Talk to me around that, if you will. Let's start off from there, where you have Wigwe. He has said repeatedly that he is not leaving a PDP. He is not. Yet, he is an active member in the government of APC. How does that work? I'm just interested. How does that work from the point of view of the PDP?
Okay, thank you very much, Yori. First of all, I think that since you have laid it in that way, although that's not exactly how it is, I'll first of all deal with that, then try to tell you how I see it.
All right.
No man can serve two masters. The circumstances we found ourselves with former governor of Rivers State, Wike, now minister of the FCT, is quite unusual in our polity. And because he had previously been a PDP man, and he still claims to be a PDP man, but working in the APC government as minister of FCT, you got to give it to PDP. In one breath, we can see how much he's impacting FCT and kind of like just reconstructing everywhere. So that's our asset to you. But our liability from this particular episode is that the players who are supposed to be the ones in charge of the directive principle of peace and stability and democratic good order in the country, which is the president, is enabling him to destabilize first himself, then overheat Rivers, and somewhat also you guys in the media are insisting that there is a constant wicked conversation when we talk about PDP. I beg to differ. The fact of the matter is that yes, we're coming to have a NEC now because our constitution demands that we should have NEC periodically. I have taken them to court to insist that rather than have these issues just flying all over the place, it's best for them to call a NEC and have that NEC, and in that NEC, which is the second highest, after the NEC, the only thing we have is the National Convention, they can then, stakeholders who are members, are statutory members of NEC, can then come in and haven't had about a year or so post May 29, look at the entire gamut, the opinions in the society, the members of the party, what the country is feeling, how the opposition party should proceed, and then say, this is the direction. You know why? Because we are the only democratic party in Nigeria. With due respect to all the other parties, hold on, they are election platforms. It is not normal that human beings with conflicting interests, desires, opinion, democracy will amalgamate themselves into a political party, and then it will enjoy the peace of the graveyard. So whatever it is you're seeing with us is reflective of the fact that it is a vegetating political party. Now, having said that, this particular NEC is going to be a make or man one. Why? Because of the issues that surround how the NWC ought to behave and how they are behaving, and legal issues that weigh in very heavily as to how we found ourselves with an acting chairman in the person of Damagun right now. So, if you're going to put all these issues together with conflicting opinion, with interest, with the loquacious opinions of people who are just acting and speaking in ways that does not bring peace, we'll have to wait and see. But I can guarantee they're not going to box themselves. They're going to get into that neck. Contestations of ideas, opinion, pull and pull. Eventually, they're going to settle on a position. And my hope is that once they settle on that position, at least the party can anchor. And then they can begin to make incremental steps towards the future. But to call it a Wike versus Atiku kind of thing is kind of like just pushing the old narrative too far. And I want to beg the media, there is no Wike versus Atiku anywhere. It's purely a PDP matter. We need to figure out, and that's how it is.
All right. I'll take that because you say it, and you can say it. You're a very articulate person, and you've put it the way you have put it. But others would say, truth be told, PDP is in disarray. Going into the NEC meeting, the NEC meeting that it is going into. We brought those, I brought those names in so that we just situate ourselves smack in the middle of what is thought to be the main talking point. That, look, if there is the situation that PDP finds itself in, going into the NEC meeting, there's no other word but disarray. And this from a party that at one time, as you know, I don't know what that, this was back in the day, it said it was going to rule for the next, can't even remember, was it 16 years or something like that, that it was going to be in power? But clearly, all of that is loyal political speak from party members, it is thought. The party is in disarray, hasn't really done very much of opposition, since
Yori, can I stop you and just speak to that which you're making? Can I speak to that right away?
Okay, just let me finish that sentence. That hasn't done very much of opposition politics. Yeah, I was going to end with, hasn't done very much of opposition politics since the beginning of this administration. It's busy nursing its own self-inflicted wounds.
Thank you very much, Yori. What constitutes opposition politics? That we need, and Yori, I consider you one of those platforms within your stable that conversations can be intelligently articulated and engaged. Now listen, what constitutes opposition politics? The malady of the country, especially from the side where you and some of your friends stand, is that you think that opposition politics means imploding democracy, emptying people into the street, just being unreasonable, not being intelligent about engaging the issues.
I wasn't going to interrupt. I wasn't going to interrupt, but I must object.
But you just did.
And it's not the first time that you take the media and lump it together with whoever is convenient and say it is the media and those people that are driving a certain narrative. I would beg to disagree and say,
Yori, can you just let me land on my thought on... Thank you.
Politics, if it is not preferring alternative solutions to that
so why don't you let me just...
by the ruling party.
With due respect,
that's all.
Can I
I'm
just
continue
on what
so that you can have your say.
Thank you. can I just continue on what is opposition politics? Opposition politics is galvanizing thought process in the country, offering alternative viewpoints on how things that are being done can be done better, and saying no to things that we think are not being done properly. And in that regard, the PDP has done that. The only thing that probably is missing is that, unlike our rivals, the APC, where we say we want to remove subsidy because it makes sense to remove it in a staggered manner, and they said bring it up to the street, empty everybody there, pretend they don't know what the subsidy is. They have done it in the most inhuman manner, and we have said, okay, we accept that they've done this thing in a very inhuman manner. We'll keep engaging them so that they can humanize it and have pity on the citizens, but we will not pretend as if subsidy doesn't have to go. Now, that's a different kind of opposition. That's that. The second thing is that since the Bola Tinubu administration came on board, the last 1 year, I think if I am to count, we have not made comments on his government, on our opinions on things that he has done. If we haven't made, we would have made in the hundreds. For one of the very first things we said when he came was, look, you can't remove subsidy in such an inhuman manner. You don't even have the numbers in place. Then we said, we don't agree with the way you're going about the forex. You're going to add inflation to the country, which is going to be very difficult to reverse. We said that. Recently, we have just said to him, Mister, you cannot run a nation as a fiefdom of cronism and prebendalism. You can't be running a 4.7 kilometer road coming in from your sort of private estate in Lagos to go saying you're going to Calabar at such a humongous cost and then giving it to your friend, which is cronism of the highest order. We said that. The only thing we haven't done is that, looking at the fiber of the country and how the country is, we have not asked everybody to just be, indisciplined and just run the country down. And the reason why we haven't done that, not that we're not able to do that, and I'm not promising you we won't do that in future, is because we are looking at the stability of the nation. You can't have a nation where the ruling party has not been able to keep the country safe, and then you expect that the main opposition will act in an irresponsible manner to overheat the politics. That is not opposition work. Opposition work is to say, this is the feet to the fire, these are the issues we have. We had an issue with his cabinet, we thought it was too big, we told him. We had an issue with his parochialism and his favoritism and his Lagos agenda, we told him. We had an issue with the fact that his ministers are corrupt, we told him. We had an issue with the fact that he's running the country in a very unempathetic manner, we told him. We had an issue with the fact that he has not increased the salary of civil servants, we told him. What do you guys really want?
Well, maybe one should ask, maybe one can reverse the question. What do you want, but for a repair, for a repair of the situation that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration inherited, came into? The economy was in ruins, let it be said. I have heard you at a different forum. I have heard you at a different forum having to concede, no matter how grudgingly, that, well, there's no way you take from the fact that the economy is improving. But you see, when you add things, Shegun, like personal parochialism, his cronies, I thought the tone that you had set, we weren't going to go there. We'd stay with the issues, never mind personal character assassinations. And don't forget that we started off...
You miss it. Yori. One second. Yeah. You're the interviewer here. I have a right to reply. I'm speaking on behalf of opposition. I'm not your friend. I'm not the kind of one that can be cowed by you. Let me just tell you what I mean by personal prebendalism and cronism.
We don't want you to be cowed. We don't want you to be cowed.
Okay, thank you. Then in that regard, let me now... what I mean by prebendalism and cronism. By what magic does a company powered by high tech, owned by the Shagoris, who are closely allies of yours, become the ones that get to do that Lagos-Calabar road at that price? By what magic do you run a government that almost everybody in the country agrees that members of the Lagos cabal are the ones that are in charge of everything? By what magic do you run a country where on the first day you'd remove subsidy and damn 11 months after you have not even inflated the economy by paying a wage bill for civil servant that mitigates? Rather than that, what are you doing? You are doing tokenism of saying you are doing what?
But Shegun, you know that you have said that the economy has picked up. It must have been a painful admission for you to make. You have said. You are on record.
No. I accept, listen, let me tell you what I said so that you don't get it twisted. I said an economy of the size of Nigeria being informal, the resilience of our people have the capability to make them just survive. There is nothing the government of the day has done that has directly impacted or made it easy for the people to survive. They're buying the fuel at the price. You are not giving them any extra money. You have not paid civil servants any extra wages. You have not done anything strategic. The only thing you're playing with, you are playing with your liberal policies of, oh, we brought the dollar down, which is not even impacting the sectors of the economy in terms of price of food, price of housing, price of transport. I get where your corner is, but I want to beg you, look, we have a duty.
It's a corner of the obvious.
All of us.
Shegun, when you say what you say, you yourself, I'm happy that I'm speaking with you. Shegun, you know that we have to handle the fundamentals one after the other. You now poo-poo the fact. You poo-poo the fact that there has been an improvement in the exchange rate because you have to admit it. You do so by poo-pooing it.
Yori, hold on. Yori, hold on.
Come on.
I hear you, but Yori, you're my man. But listen, I accept that your party now, from the Buhari regime, messed up the economy ab initio.
Yeah, we don't have a party.
The Nigerian party. Okay, you don't. Okay, you don't have a party. Let me just put it this way. I accept. I accept that I accept that the APC ruling party put the economy by making it totally tanked, and I accept that a new man is there struggling with the mess that the same party created. And I accept that while he's struggling, I can see effort. But I am telling you with due respect, all I am seeing is that they wake up every morning, they make up their mind what other pressure they are going to pile on the Nigerian, they pile it on them. First it was subsidy. When the people are trying to get used to that, then they came with electricity. When the people are trying to get used to that, then they are telling them they have to come and pay new money to come and do another identification system. While we're trying to get used to that, then they're piling us with new taxes. While we're trying to get used to that, then they tell us that they don't consider education a social investment anymore, but it's now a private sector-led economy where people must come and borrow money from their so-called loan.
What you are doing, you and I know that what you are doing is called redirecting.
You know how I see myself
what you are doing, Shegun, is called redirecting. I mean, and we started off by saying that what is the subject of conversation? The impending PDP NEC meeting and matters arising.
Let's go back
NEC meeting and matters arising. What you have been doing is redirecting from the successes of the ruling party's policies. But I expected that. I expected a bit of that. You wouldn't have been a bona fide loyal member of the PDP if you didn't come in this way.
Let's go to our next meeting, since you guys are so interested in that.
Conceding that Tinubu and his team are doing a fantastic job by most accounts. That doesn't mean you have to agree. It doesn't mean you have to agree. As you say...
Let me tell you, Yori, let me give you a gift. A gift even for Tinubu, the president. He has an infrastructure that needs to be blown on. And I know I have the ability to help him blow on it, but I'm not in his party, so I don't have a responsibility to help him. But truth be told, the backline of the country, you measure it from how it impacts the poor. The Bola Tinubu government is playing with, the kinds of things that excite the rich and those that are feeding on their table. I am an opposition figure. I listen to the cries of the people in the country at every corner of the country. I've been to Katsina. I've been everywhere. And I know that be aware, if you do not have a systematic manner of making sure that money gets into the hands of our people, you are going to be deceiving yourself if you think that the economic direction you are running is not impacting them. But that's that. In terms of the PDP
you're still redirecting. You're still redirecting.
PDP,
and you are expert at that.
The one that is not, you are the one that is not allowing us to step away from that. I want us to step away from this. Let's just stay on the PDP matter. And stop bringing in this APC people's matter into it. Now, to the PDP matter. Now,
Okay.
a political party,
so that we can make progress.
A political.
So the PDP matter, we look away from all the misdirections of trying to say that the program or the station and using
stand on one spot and scream.
Our party.
It don't matter much though. I like your.
You're
I must
talking
tell you
about our
something
party.
though. Your station is looking very beautiful. I like it. The last time I was here, I wasn't looking so fine. So let's just go on. It's
okay,
really
let's
nice.
talk about going into the PDP NEC meeting into the NEC with the fragmented situation. Where I wanted you, because I know you can be if you want to be, just be an analyst of the situation. PDP has had it so bad. In fact, PDP can't win any election, it is thought, if it continues in this fragmented state. So going into the NEC meeting in this manner, let's talk about that.
Okay, thank you, Yori. Yori, I accept that a political party that is 25 years old, like PDP, has a duty to ensure that it manages both the internal affairs and the external inflections of its affairs better. I concede that. But I also accept, and I want you to reason with me a bit, it is impossible to have a political party that will have maybe 1 million, 2 million, or 3 million members, either party, whatever name they call themselves, that is democratic in its ideological underpinnings, and not expect that opinions, interests, conversations will be this way. I know that the democratic model of the American-style multi-party democracy is not the only democracy in the world. The Chinese one is also a democracy of some sort. The Russian one is a democracy of some sort. But free joining, free living, free exhibition political parties that is of the nature of PDP, and I think the APC they are like that too, must naturally deal with people managing their interests. Having said that, the PDP is one party where if people are not happy, they go to court. We don't see that with others. And when people go to court, legal opinions have consequences. And I've screamed myself out to the PDP, a party that I represent and I support all the time, that you must learn to obey your own self-imposed rules for two reasons. One, it helps you to anchor well and be firm, and nobody can say you are cheating them or you are undermining them. Two, it reduces the amount of burden you place on the judiciary, which is better for everybody. So I think PDP must figure out how to get back to that. The other thing I want to say to you, my dear friend, is that let me tell you the members of MEC, so you will know that it's not as clear-cut as you're saying. The NEC is a convention or a meeting, a specialized meeting that will be presided over by the acting chairman, Damagun. He will open it, and thereafter, stakeholders, the Senate caucus, the Rep caucus, members of the Governors Forum, representative of the chairman of parties, representative of the BOT, in those orders will speak to issues. If there be an agenda item that they can all agree, then it goes. If the agenda item cannot be easily agreed by all of them, they subject it to vote. There are regulated statutory members who have voting authority in our NEC. And if they vote and the yeas have it, it does not matter the opinions of the nays, then the position of the yea will then become the position of the party. Yori, if that is not beautiful democracy, I don't know which one is more democratic. This is a beautiful party. Now, you see us. Yeah, hold on. That's how the NEC will go. If there are sympathizers of Wike there who are still statutory members of our party who have not left the party, they are entitled to come and weigh in on their opinion. If there are statutory members of the place who are sympathizers of Atiku, they are free to weigh in their opinion. But I want you to know that there are also the silent majority who feel that a middle ground is balance. And in that regard, so they too will weigh in on their opinions. Once we put it to vote, it's like going to the Senate, even though your party has a majority in the Senate and you have kind of like arranged your Senate leadership in some kind of civilian dictatorship, almost like a state capture, you still put it to vote.
Okay.
You still put it to vote, and you still put it to vote. And when you put anything to vote, listen, when you put anything to vote, then the ones that the majority will win. It doesn't matter how the angry minority may be. That's what I'm trying to
We really must go on a break now. I didn't want to interrupt. It was not my intention to interrupt, to shut you up, but we've got to go on a break now. And when we come back, there'll be more time. We'll pursue this. Misdirecting or not, redirecting or no redirecting.
Don't worry.
We'll continue to pursue this. And we also add calls as well. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back.
Stay ahead with the biggest news stories. Go beyond the news headlines. Experience impactful investigations. Enjoy resourceful news coverage in real time. TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. Live every day on this channel. TVC News. First with breaking news.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas. It shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Okay, welcome back, and we're having a feisty conversation, impending PDP NEC meeting and matters arising. And our guest is our friend, Otumba Shunmi. He's a PDP stakeholder, national chairman, hopeful, has taken his party to court. And besides, I missed out the fact that he vied for the governorship of his beloved Ogun State. That place we have common ground, our beloved Ogun State. But, you know, that's part of his resume. Now, Otumba Shunmi knows what he's doing. He's coming on as an opposition politician. And so when he needs to, he will redirect questions. But I must counsel, don't be saying your party. This is a program here where we don't have a party. It's a conversation. But you'd say
I believe you, Yori. I believe you. You are eating into my time. Let's go on. I believe you.
Okay. So
you believe yourself.
All those ones you are saying, it's not necessary. Now, we were talking about the sorry state that PDP finds itself in today. You yourself have attested to part of that. It is noteworthy that the founding fathers, the elders of the party, there was a time when President Obasanjo, in exasperation, tore up his membership card of the PD. I think he burnt it publicly and all of those kind of things. I don't know what you would say to the fact that they're just watching the party drift. These people, this kind of...
Thank you, Yori, for that. Yori, thank you for that. You've laid the question. Can I answer now? I did a piece a couple of days ago where I said very clearly that I am disappointed that a 25-year-old democratic institution that should be the reason why we as black people, including Yori and all, can tell the world that we have the capability to also run institutions that will last, has to deal with all of these sitting issues that will require some level of, high mediation to calm all free now. That I was disappointed that those of them who have been president on this table, and I mentioned Obasanjo, I mentioned Jonathan and co, that I was disappointed that they seem to be sitting back and just watching this. And I mean that. And I don't mean it because I think that they can come back and be anything. No, I just feel that one of the challenges of the African society, Nigeria being the largest, most populous black nation, is that we never build to last. And if you see that I labor much in PDP and I push very hard, it's because I believe that democratic culture takes time to become enthroned and deepened. And that best is that a political party is not really a platform that must win elections all the time. If it did win elections all the time, it couldn't really be democracy because it would be removing the suffrage of the people for choice. And I want to tell you with due respect, I'm not envious of our rivals, the APC. In fact, I'm happy for them. I want them to stay on course and be a national party. I want them to, they've just gotten 9+ years. They're not even 10 years yet. How can I, who have been in charge for 16 years, envy people that just after 9 years, the entire nation is screaming? So there's nothing to envy. I want them to stabilize and survive so that we can have that party as a national party. And I want the PDP to scale up, reform, retool itself, and rewrite its ideological underpinnings so that it can be dramatically different and people can see the choice they have to make. That's it.
And you think,
other than that,
you think the prospects of that is good, are good, going into the next meeting that we're talking about?
Listen, let me tell you something that will shock you. PDP is one incredible institution. When you say it's all over, and then you see that new energies will come like a phoenix and is rising up again, who would have thought that if Obasanjo leaves PDP would still be able to vie for things? But it's fine. Who would have thought that if Jonathan decides to sit it out and make himself a regular visitor in the villa, who would have thought that PDP would still be active? It's active. Who would have thought that PDP will still be winning? We have about 13 governors. We don't have to have everything. And I believe that if we have a free, fair, and a clean election, we'll be able to see precisely how the Nigerians are voting. And who would have thought that from the stable of the PDP will give Nigeria your Senate President Akpabio, whom you love so much, trained by us, dealt by us? Who would have thought that from our stable will give the world Peter Obi, who is kind of like doing some phenomenal things all over the place, trained by us, released by us? Who would have thought that our party will give you all of the great people? Now, PDP is the university for participatory democratic institution. Don't be too upset with them when they have those struggles.
Shegun, I believe you. Let me bring on Okoroafo, who has called in from Arochukwu. Good morning, Mazi Okoroafo.
Yeah, good morning, Sir Yuri. Good morning. I guess in the studio, you said, Mazi Okoroafo from Arochukwu. You see, 25 years of democracy, Nigerians have not learned anything. Because when you look at democracy, you start asking yourself, what are we practicing? Is it parliamentary? Is it dictatorship? Which one? Now, opposition parties are not doing the needful. Watch what is happening in the United States of America, Republican and Democrat. You see Trump, as far as the whole world is concerned, the best president so far, as far as I'm concerned, as my own individual, Trump is the only president that the whole world needs. Because anytime Trump is in office, the whole world will be shaking. You will not be seeing crisis. You see what is shaking. Now, come to PDP. Look at what is happening there. Ugochile, 2-3 days ago, they allowed me race. Have the PDP come to the ground in order to find a solution to it? Look at Wike just this solution for the past 1 year or 2 years now. What do we do? Look, when we talk about the opposition party, Nigerians should learn a lesson. But you are just to see that if you know all those institutions that are not working well for the masses, you come on board. But a way opposition parties have factions, so crisis upon crisis, how will you tackle the issue with the ruling party? That is what is happening in Nigeria. Because as far as Nigeria is concerned, it's power and money. These are the two things that is killing Nigerian democracy. Power and money. People going to politics because of power. People going to politics because of money. That is why you see that opposition parties are not. Look at even the Labour Party. Look at what is happening in Edo State. Labour Party man is now the deputy governor of Edo State. Does it make sense? Now, what made you to leave Labour Party within the special to jump to PDP? What is this? You see, the Nigerian youth, I start asking myself, what is the job for Nigerian youth? Look at just common senator, 46-year-old young man at the president. Look at the whole world, the old men and how they were worshiping the young man. But the boy have shaken that. Look at the guy in Niger. What does he say? He's a young man. He said that the colonial masters go your way. Because the colonial masters go your way. Can it happen in other African countries? Look, the young girls and young girls in Africa or Nigeria, sit up. Stop this follow, collect money and put a big boy and carry static clothes. That is the problem now with the Nigerian boys and who come to the office. When they go and carry stack their clothes, be raising their shoulders. That is not the politics of raising shoulders with static clothes. What is it? What do you have in mind? What is your mindset? Your mindset is to move Africa forward. Your mindset is to move your local government forward. Your mindset is to move the state forward. Your mindset is to sit up as a young country with an opposition party.
Okay, thank you very much, Mazi Okora, for
now, Yori, let me quickly answer Mazi. Mazi, thank you. At least it shows that you're listening. And your comment is well noted.
If you were listening too, because you were pecking away at your phone.
I was. His voice is very loud, and I'm like having the thing so close. I don't want him to fuck up my earballs. But let's go on. I want to thank him for his comment because he's really listening. But I want to warn him admonish him on one area. When people say that in Senegal, a 44-year-old guy has become president, you need to understand that total population of Senegal max is 17 million. Nigeria, 220 million. The religions in Senegal, predominantly Islamic, small variation of Christians, and a small variation of animists and traditionalists. Nigeria, you must be joking, almost evenly divided between the faith. Even within the faiths, there are also classification of Anglican, Methodist, Celestial, and all that. There's Tijaniya, there's Kazalia, there's Izala, and all that. Nigeria is not. Language in Senegal, predominantly Wolof, which I can speak, Nangadev, congratulations, Senegal. Nigeria, you have like about 200 and something languages. You guys don't give ourselves credit for even what we do. Even to keep this country stable, it's not as easy as that. Now, if the issue is that, why are we not taking them on in terms of how we're going to be the next president? There's time for everything. Right now is not the time for campaign. Candidates will throw themselves up. People will crisscross the country. You Nigerians will decide. But when we are 1 year after, we can't be talking about the next election as if it's happening tomorrow. The responsibility we have today is to make sure that we fix the parties, because we have all the time in the world to do that, to speak to the issues, to be fierce but reasonable in our criticism, to ensure that we do not implode the democracy, to take into cognizance the fact that our country is dealing with insecurity and all of those issues, and to make sure that opposition can talk, can write, can speak to issues, but must not become irresponsible to the extent that we will not be able to control the monster that will come as a result of some of the issues in the country. So stop being angry that Nigeria. That's my position on that. So Dr. Rafa, relax. We will get to candidates at the right time.
Okay. Oh, Shegun. Today you're really working on all cylinders, misdirecting matters. But I'll come right back to you.
You love me.
Ada,
you love me, Yori. I love you too,
Ada in Jos. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, sorry. I beg your pardon. Hassan.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Good morning. I am Azan from Oyekiti in Ekiti State.
Oh,
yes,
I've got it totally upside down. Thank you for calling in, Hassan, in Oyekiti.
I want to say good morning to Otumba there.
Yes.
Otumba, I have been following you for almost 4 days now when you are in the other TV station.
It's a campaign. He comes out periodically like that.
Yes, I have been following Otumba Shegun in the other TV station there when he was talking about the issue of the PDP. Pardon?
Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Oh, I understand.
Like I said,
there's a delay. All
like
right.
I said, I want to ask a question from Otumba.
Yes.
Otumba, what are you going to bring to the table to turn around PDP fortunes? PDP fortunes, because now we all see what is happening in PDP. Like you yourself, apart from Wike issue or not Wike, I want to ask a pertinent question. If Wike is a bone of contention to the party, now what are the procedure or what are the requirement for somebody who does things that is not according to the party's rules? And the other thing, I always like the way you always put things, but nevertheless, I believe you will have seen one or two things that the present administration have done. Though you are speaking as an opposition man, but I want you to speak as a Nigerian who is also looking for the progress of the country. Thank you, Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much, Hassan, for calling that in.
Okay.
Now I can speak for Otumba Shegun there. He is a patriotic.
No, don't speak for me. I'm here.
He's a patriotic Nigerian. Let me take it back. Let me take your patriotic Nigerian back.
Yori, I've become a little bit suspect of your comment before you make them, but thank you for those kind comments. Let me start with the Wike matter. Governor Ison Wike. I marvel at how those who have responsibility to manage the political party seems not to have the courage to say this is not acceptable. For instance, if I had been the national chairman when Wike said he wanted to serve in the APC government, what would I have done? I would have written him the letter saying, thank you very much, Governor Nyesom Wike. We know the fact that you have been invited because you are a great material and they want you to come and serve the country. Please accept our consideration and our highest regard, believing that the quality and the ethos of PDP, of hard work, of discipline, of capacity will be shown. We encourage you to go and do the best for the country. Now that you have said you are not leaving the party, please be aware that I am freezing your membership till further notice. By a freeze of membership, it means you no longer have the power to be involved in party issues. You no longer have the power to be involved in ESCO issues. You no longer have the power to speak on behalf of the party. A freeze is different from an expulsion. When you are finished with your assignment, as it were, being on sabbatical, we'll come back, we'll debrief you, and we'll reintegrate you afresh. And then I would have taken the structure of the party in Rivers State away from him and given it to the next man, because in any case, the only reason why Wike had that structure was because he was a governor. Therefore, I would have said, similarly, Fubara, governor of Rivers, go ahead and do that. That's how to run a party. These kinds of things will happen from time to time. I cannot begrudge Wike going to serve. I have told you already that I can even see how so energetic his effort is in Abuja. But that's because of the PDP spirit. But I would never allow him to sit in the place and be serving two matters. That's what I would have done. In terms of what Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency have done well, let me give you that.
Yes, please go there.
I like the fact that, like he knows and I know, I've always said to him, I do not know the mess you are going to meet when you get there. But I am hopeful that you will not leave that place. I am hopeful that you will leave the place better than you met it. I just do not want to remove him from the burden of the 8 years of the last administration because he's a member of the party. They never allowed us to breathe on the 16 years of some of our leaders. So I don't accept, and I'm not ready to let him breathe. I'm not allowing him to sidestep the mismanagement of the previous 8 years. And in fairness to him, he's my brother. I understand how hard the work is, and I know that he's running private sector efficiency to do it. I'm holding my breath. I've told him, balance the country. I've told him, make everybody feel inclusive. I've told him, rejig your speaking team. They talk over the heads of people. And I've told him, I like the fact that you're saying you're going to benchmark yourself and them. Therefore, after 1 year, we expect to see the result of your benchmark. You can't keep them here. We're in a hurry. The reason why we're in a hurry is because our neighbors are having young leaders. If we're going to be stuck with Methuselahs like yourself, then we better demand that you speed up the action. But not bad, really not bad.
Okay, I guess we'll take that. You know, there's no way, I mean, since you can't say Tinubu is not doing well, we'll take all of that. Now, Professor Edmund in Enugu, good morning to you, sir. Professor Edmund. Professor Edmund, can you hear us?
Hello, yes, I can hear you.
Go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, please, thank you. Let me first of all greet you for this program at the same time. Yes, I'm hearing you. Can't you hear me?
We can hear you.
Are you hearing me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Your guest, what's that his name?
Otumba Showumi.
What's the name of your guest?
Shegun Showumi.
The candidate of PDP in Ogun State.
Yes, Shegun Showumi.
I mean, your guest, what's that his name? Your guest?
Shegun Showumi.
Shegun Showumi, yes. Okay, yes, Shegun Showumi is an intelligent young man. I've been listening to him from the days here. There's something he said about PDP, grooming or training. Yes, I know. Shegun Showumi, former PDP candidate of Ogun State, 2023. He's an intelligent young man, and I've been following his trajectory. There's something he said about P2B being the product of PDP. That's a fallacy. Abga trained and groomed P2B. Secondly, the issue of age. Age is immaterial as far as democracy is concerned. You cannot, because of age, exclude any age bracket because of age. Age, as a matter of fact, age goes with experience. Nigerian youth are not the type of youth you can talk about in Senegal. Politically, our youth are not all that matured to handle the affairs of this country. So age will continue to play a vital role in this country.
All right, then. Well, thank you very much, Professor. I'm so sorry that I have to interrupt here because we've almost run out of time, and I do want to give Shunmi, a chance to have.
I like the fact that they think that Peter was only in Abga, and by being in Abga, that's all that made Peter. But I will spare him because he's a bit ignorant. The first sojourn that started bringing him big into the national conversation was as an advisor to Jonathan, and the presidential platform that allowed him to be vice president was robust and big enough to move him all over the country. And we don't begrudge the fact that even with his efforts in the labor movement, we see what he's doing. But I must tell you and tell the obedient very clearly, Peter is new to the dynamics of national power play. And because he's like a student that has graduated from our school, we still put our eyes on him. Having said that, I think that the future is still pregnant. We do not know what will happen. And I do believe that, like I said, Yori, there is no point in saying that what opposition means is to be blind to everything that we can obviously see. I concede that the circumstances underneath Ashadu came into power was a little bit dire, but I'm not immuning him from how we got there because it was his party. And I also concede that to some extent, for whatever is worth, the country is still stable. And I believe that the future is also brilliant and bright. And I feel that democracy will not be democracy if we pretended as if the only person that has the right opinion or the right idea in the country is the one that is leading now. It's sparked on unnecessary psychophancy. I feel that the PDP is having issues, but it will do well after next.
I have to come in here because I want to ask you, I want to circle back to where we began. The impending PDP NEC meeting. Given all that you have said, are you optimistic that it can come out of that meeting any better strengthened to deliver to the country along the glowing propositions you enumerated?
It's a make or man neck for PDP. I'm not pretending that it's not. I expect them to go into that neck, talking to themselves with respect and decorum, and not scapegoating anybody. I expect them to be honest about the analysis and not say that all is good and all is bad. And I expect them to look at our procedure and focus on the important thing, which is how do we rejig our party? How do we reform it? How do we ensure that the ideological...
Are you optimistic? Are you optimistic about those expectations?
Optimism and hope is the reason why the human spirit is not in despair. So I'm saying that, yes, I'm optimistic, but I am cautiously optimistic.
Well, we're going to have to leave it there, Shegun. I mean, it's been quite feisty. It's been quite exciting. Tumba Shegun Showuni, PDP.
I've enjoyed myself, too. I've enjoyed myself. Thank you, Yori.
All right, then. Pleasure, always. Okay, so that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.